What's up, YouTube? It's Josh Creates here with another video. In today's video, we got TikTok vents about living in tiny homes, trying to save that money because house inflation and the housing market is crashing and it's just going berserk. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Listen, it doesn't take a rocket science to know that housing prices have gone through the roof. And this generation coming up is unlike any other generation. Our values are somewhere else. So do y'all think this could be the generation that normalized owning double wide trailers and tiny homes over houses?
I think something like this can
Maybe.
solve our housing crisis.
So our first product is actually a 20 by 20 room, like kind of a little studio apartment with a kitchen, bath.
So it says Boxable aims to reinvent housing with $50,000 instant builds. So I guess these are like houses that are instantly ready to build. Like as you can see, it's like they're just unfolding. Reportedly owns Boxable House. Comment down below if I'm like pronouncing it right or wrong. By the way, like if I'm pronouncing it wrong, you don't have to like spell it out like how Wikipedia spells it out or something like that or Google. Just say, oh, you're saying it wrong. But honestly, this looks so convenient. They're building your house in like what, an hour? Come on now, unfolding your house in an hour,
The cost and time to build houses.
and that's $50,000, dog.
They're out of Plano, Texas. Go check them out. The houses are super cute. To me, that's a beautiful house.
Honestly, that looks very convenient, and that's a good idea if you have like an elderly family member, and they don't really want to live with you, and like they want to give you your space and stuff like that. You could get them one of these if you have the money to, or build something like this for yourself, DIY build it, and then put it in your backyard, and then, hey, it's like a guest home, and then you could just rent that out or just have your elderly family member live there, or you could just rent it out and pay off on it. That's honestly convenient, not that bad. It may be a thing in the future though.
Things are $100,000.
So I'm sure the immediate argument would be, oh, you got to factor in labor costs and the land, but what? Bro, look at this. Look at this, bro. Are you kidding me?
A company called Backyard Workroom came to my house and built this house in my
48
backyard in like
minutes.
48 minutes. Granted, it took them about an hour to unpack everything and put it in the backyard, but it only took them 48 minutes to put the whole thing together. All the finishing touches took about 2 hours. So in about 4 hours, you can have a granny flat or a tiny home put in your backyard. And it's backyardworkroom.com.
I want to see the inside of that one because that looked a little bit too small.
What is even going on with these tiny homes? They're popping up like mushrooms all over the place. Do they expect people to just live in these gray boxes? Is this gonna solve the affordability crisis?
Things are $100,000.
Let me just break down why that's actually probably not a bad price. The average cost of a plot of land is around $20,000 an acre in the United States right now. But it ranges hugely from $350,000 in Rhode Island all the way down to $4,000 in Arizona. Big difference. And as you can see, the lot size gets a lot smaller as you go west. But as you can see in the video, they're tiny. So let's just say they're around $5,000 an acre. So that's just part of the costs that go into it. There's all the things that go into the actual structure itself too in terms of cost. You gotta get the land ready. You gotta get the foundation ready. And all that costs money. Things like the framing, the drywall, the insulation, the windows. I mean, have you ever figured out how much it might cost to get new windows in your house? Just replacements is like $20,000. Don't get me started on kitchens because, man, it's like $50,000 without even trying and you don't even get a good kitchen. And then you have the nuts and bolts like electrical and plumbing. Every house has to have that, whether it's a small house or big house. You got to have it. And then there's things like you're paying for, like the survey, the permits, the architects, the engineers, all the extras. This is a price build out for a 40-foot container home, which is approximately the same size as these homes. And guess what? It costs close to $200,000 for that baby. And that's only a 40-foot container home. These things are actual houses. I think the only way that you can achieve a home like this size is by doing it yourself. That's the only way. Yeah, and we didn't even factor in the price of the land, even though it's a tiny lot, to the cost. So if you're interested in downloading this, I have a link in my bio where you can do it yourself. And I also have a tab that I didn't show you here where you can actually figure out how much you can save, which is nearly $100,000 on this home.
Wow. Shout out to Ryan for breaking
Allowing
that
tiny
down.
homes and backyards does another really important thing for our country. It empowers people who want to be support structures for friends and family that are falling on hard times. It empowers them to do that in a way that's reasonable for their life. What I mean by that is that if you are falling on hard times and you want to sleep on my couch, well, there's an inherent intrusion to that. And even if I have an extra room, you're still in my space, in my house. And my wife is only going to tolerate it for so long, right? And even if I love you as a brother, at some point I'm going to say this is enough, right? If you could have a tiny home in my backyard, your ability to stay with me, my ability to be a support structure for you is so much greater, right? So if we want to do something about homelessness and we want to do it in a way that doesn't just concentrate all the people at the lowest like economic spectrum into shelters and to these villages, a good way to do it would be empower their loved ones to give them some help.
All right, guys, that is it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. This is about the tiny house crisis. These are the things that a lot of people are starting to think about doing. An alternative to just not buying a house, to just buy a tiny house. Because why? The house inflation, the housing crisis, real estate crisis. Everything is having a crisis. Don't be surprised when this becomes a norm and people are actually affording a tiny house. It's the same price as a new car. Literally. Honestly, I even thought about doing it one day. One day. I don't have the money now for it, but hey, it's a thought process. It's an idea. And that's perfectly for the elderly because everything is like close by. The elderly does not need a big house where everything is like far away from each other or possibly on the second floor. They have a tiny house, something simple, something livable, good. Even single, even it's even good for single people. You know, you don't plan on having kids anytime soon or want kids, or you just need a place of your own to save up. And hey, you can have that with your own space, with your own backyard, do whatever you want. And hey, Smaller the house, the bigger the land, I guess. Maybe. But anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Needless to say, everything will be okay. My name is Josh Creates, and I'm out.